So
Live streaming is on.
Okay.
Do not
Our
focus at the top.
focus?
So you guys didn't start at the top of the hour, right?
no, we didn't.
No.
We just started.
Okay, cool. I thought that you said you were going to be there at the top of the hour. That's fine.
Yeah, but then they were.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
So do we have clear focus? Do we know what we're doing? Do we loading results for our Disney pipeline website? Okay.
Yeah, it's voting result.
Very good, Joyce. Yeah. Hmm.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, we definitely want to do that, and then based on that, I would think we would make the proposal for the cutoff.
Okay.
Um.
Uh, launching. Is that?
Yeah. So I think we want to have like a status of where
We are
we
now.
are with pipeline.
Yeah.
Basically, what do we want and not want to do for the pipeline?
So we're focused.
So in terms of the thing that I really want to work on, which is like the planning coordination for the Umbrella Showcase website and getting our timeline organized, that's scheduled for Wednesday, but I just want to note that,
Okay.
Screen share.
But obviously it's impossible to do that without understanding our pipeline.
Yeah.
So what is identity and guidance
I would focus on that. Yeah.
agreement?
Excuse me?
I don't know what these topics are. Who's writing all these topics?
Proposal for cutoff.
What?
Proposal for
Who's writing
cutoff.
all these topics? It says
Sorry.
pipeline-
Sorry. I mistake. I want to write in the focus. Proposal for cutoff. Status where we are with pipeline. USW Umbrella Showcase website. USW. Nice. The official acronym. Planning and timeline. Yeah.
So I think we're going to start with the voting results and get an idea of what we're looking at.
What are the priorities?
I agree. Yeah. So I didn't hear the streaming starting. I don't know if I missed it or something.
No, it started.
I heard it.
I didn't. Okay.
And then
Yes.
also, the thing that I always forget is like, sharing the screen. Yeah, cool. So you can see the screen, which means it's broadcasting.
Yes.
Great.
Notes. The notes.
So does that sound good? Like I would just propose that we just do the results, figure out like where we're at with the actual, programs, and then we can go from there.
Perfect. Okay. Let's do that first, and and then we can do the status, and after we can do the proposal for the cutoff.
I would say we do a view up. I would say we do a view up at that point because I don't know what the proposal is or how it fits into our timeline and what we want to do.
Yes, because I was thinking first we decide, we brainstorm the cutoff, and then based on the cutoff, we create the planning. We do the planning and timeline.
I mean, for me, the main question is about what is our goal? Is our goal is to serve ourselves? Like basically, if we just decide to make a proposal and then have a cutoff and then get focused, it means that we want to end the pipeline and not prioritize the pipeline and not do that anymore, right? Which is fine. So, but we want to make sure we're clear on that intention, because last time we talked about it, we talked about having a more broader network-wide and public engagement in our pipeline, which obviously if we just vote to cut off and just end it, we're obviously prioritizing just doing it for ourselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. Great. Uh-huh.
So I'm fine with that either way, but we need to do that with intention. We shouldn't just like jump and skip ahead to the proposal cutoff
Making
without.
assumptions. Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
So we
Yeah.
can address that during the status.
Yeah. Mhm. Perfect. So, so before we start, I wanted to give Joyce very cool news
Hmm?
that like Mel is joining like officially the team. Pretty cool.
As a worker or
Yes,
oh.
she's getting conquered as well.
Huh?
She's
Ah,
getting conquered as well. Yeah.
She's getting
okay. How
what as
about
well?
Stacy? He's getting
She's
what?
she's getting conquered by the vortex model, by Jay,
Conquered.
by
Conquered.
everything. FQN. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How about Stacy? Stacy.
Terrible term. She's getting magnetized.
Yeah, magnetized. Conquer is not very nice. I wanted to use something more like she's getting.
Hypnotized and
Hypnotized.
No,
Hypnotized.
she's getting in love. She's getting in
Ah,
love
okay.
as well.
He's falling.
She's falling in love. Yeah. No, I mean, from what I understand, she officially said the. I mean, she's joining officially the team, so she's gonna. I mean, gradually, she's.
I saw also Stacy yesterday in your recording, I think. Right?
yeah, Stacy was here yesterday. It was her first work session, which is very
Oh
nice.
wow, finally.
I know.
Yeah, and we got so much done. So much done.
Wow. And I saw also your recording. David also was there the last time, no? So, the last time, last week, also right? David,
Yeah.
David came
Stacy,
to
David,
David came to the session that we discussed life support, right? So we're talking about life support and specifically Stacy, and David's the primary person who is helping Stacy.
uh,
And David is the director of one of our WCDC programs. He does like a health and wellness program. All right. Anyway, shall we jump into our first topic? If we have agreement, remember, I have to be out of here in basically 1 hour. I got 1 hour and then
1 hour.
Yeah. Let's get focused.
you
Yeah,
guys have gone
agreement.
So shall we jump into topic 1?
Topic one.
Topic 1, voting result.
So let me get the link first quickly. Okay.
So while we're doing all that, for me, just understanding the pipeline of voting. There's 3 levels for pipeline voting currently. There's the voting form, right, and then there's the spreadsheet with all considered options, and then we have the basically the list of not prioritized options, or list of other lists, right? Okay, does that make sense? Like there's currently 3 voting
Yeah.
levels.
Yeah.
So it all starts with the foundational level will be the list of all the lists and all the ideas. And then you just choose ideas that you want to bring into our considerations. And then all the considerations are prioritized to like the top, in essence, like 5 to 10, and then those go on the voting form. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so we put them in the voting form. Here's the spreadsheet with the responses. I can also get the. Let me get also the notes from the session with the spreadsheet.
Please link the rest of everything.
Another good category would be list of active projects and listed inactive projects that we want to consider activating. So, for example, the Umbrella crowd fundraising campaign is currently inactive.
Yeah, it's in the link that I linked first, the pipeline experience module. There's all the list that we did with the active, the inactive, and the ones we want to consider. So I'm getting the notes from Saturday.
List of active projects. What's that? Okay.
No, it wasn't this one.
Wait, it's in the notes of the voting itself, no? The note of the voting. Wait. Where is it? Where is it now?
So, what is going on right now? What's the problem?
I'm getting the spreadsheet there where we voted with Mel.
Oh, why? What do we need that for?
Yeah.
What do we need that for?
You said you wanted the spreadsheet, right? From the voting.
I want a spreadsheet of all considered options, not the top priorities.
No, yeah, where we voted on the list of websites with Mel.
All of them?
Excuse me?
All of the ideas?
No, only the websites, the showcase websites.
I'm just not really interested in that.
Okay, so never mind. So
what I want is I want to make sure that this is not coming out of nothing. Right? The pipeline is a specific process that starts with every single idea that anyone could ever come up with is automatically included. Are you on the same page? Yes or no?
So yes, so you want
You need to downsize the list of any and all possible ideas to the spreadsheet of all the considered options that we want, that anybody wants to consider. Right? It's similar to the logo process. Here are all the logo options, and then we actually narrow that down to all the ones that we want to consider, and then we take the top 5 to 10 of those, and then we put them on the voting form for a final vote. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so it's here, line 36. This is the list we made.
Yeah, this is a little bit better. Thank you. So anyways, that needs a spreadsheet. I haven't seen the spreadsheet yet.
The spreadsheet is linked on line 4. Line 4.
Line 4.
Okay, cool. But that's okay.
Yeah, it's not organized yet, but process set.
All right.
List of website.
I think we have. Oh wait, is this the average here? So we need to add Mel. So it looks like SVG is number 1, right? And then life support is number 2.
So let me find the notes with Mel.
No, we have fundraising and sponsorship are number 3.
So number 1 is.
But did you do the random organization of the voting?
No, I did a multiple choice.
Yeah, because I feel like this is definitely a little bit, ordered based on the order, if that makes sense. But anyways, there's a little bit of
I didn't I didn't put numbers.
I know, but they're ordered. You put them in a specific order. Okay, so what do you guys think we should do at this point?
So I'm adding Mel. I'm taking the vote from Mel.
Okay, if you add her, what will be the result?
Okay, so Mel voted. I'm going to our notes.
Yes.
So where can I put Mel now? I'm gonna go up
9:33.
1 sec. I'm gonna no because I need to organize that because it's in a different format.
Okay. Number 1 is SVG. Number 2, life support. Fundraising, sponsorship.
So Mel, where is Mel? Okay, so Mel is for the feeling.
See.
Can you write, Joyce, for Mel
Yes.
the vote? Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you. Okay.
Huh.
Okay, so for SVG, she's a 7.
The feeling. No.
No,
Nothing.
SVG,
Okay.
she's a
Okay.
7. Okay. For life support, she's a 5. Okay.
Yeah.
For the fundraising, she's 1.
Okay.
For the sponsorship, she's 8.
Mhm.
For the co-op, she's a
Up.
1. For the pipeline, she's 1. For CCC, she's 8. For the Umbrella Showcase website, she's 1. For the community equity, she's 1.
Okay.
So this we need to update here the 235.
I
Okay.
already did that.
Ah, okay.
Mhm.
So we have
So number
SVG,
2,
life support. So 3 is sponsorship now.
number 3, number 3 sponsorship.
4
Yeah.
is fundraising.
Fundraising. Yeah.
Are you writing?
Number 4 fundraising.
4, yeah. 5 is co-op. And then we have 2 6s, pipeline and CCC. Let's see which one is. Let's give one more decimal. Let's see if it changes something. No, they're the same. So 6, 6, and showcase is also the same exact. Let me see. Yeah.
Oh
So we
my.
have three 6s, and so this would be 9.
7. Ay.
Okay, 1, 2. Yeah. So
SVG.
SVG life support.
And sponsorship. And then fundraising.
Sponsorship is 3rd.
I'm gonna increase my showcase vote.
Okay, so what? One, two, seven. So now it's one, two, per three, 6.7. So this now showcase now is number
What?
showcase is number what now?
Oh, showcase is number
So we have
oh,
social value, life
five.
support.
So
Number
five,
three,
5, and 6 or 7, 7. Yeah.
number three is sponsorship.
Mm-mm.
Then we have fundraising. Oh, fundraising went up. Where is it? General
Fundraising went down. Ah, went up.
four.
No, no, no. It's this. It's the same.
And it's the same. Then we have
Same.
what is five? The co-op five, six. What do we have at six?
Number
Can you
six
see my
should
order?
be
Line teaching sports
showcase.
6 is the order.
Uh,
SVG life support, sponsorship, fundraising, co-op, showcase website.
We have two fifths. Yeah.
1, 2, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, sorry. We have two five then. Contributors and showcase.
7, 8, 9. Okay. Social value.
Where is the so pipeline is seven.
Oh yeah, and then CCC
Project
also.
goes down. Yeah. Five,
Mm-hmm.
seven. Focus and CCC as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And then community equity is uh,
9.
nine. Okay. Okay. So let me
One,
see.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
So
9.
I'm gonna put inside the votes that I actually did on the other day that had some point something. Let's see if it changes something.
What's that?
So can you change my votes like this, Joyce? Can you write down?
Okay. Wait.
So for social value group, I'm an eight. For life support, I'm a seven.
I will change your vote.
Yeah, because I
It,
voted before, but on the voting form you cannot vote with point something, right? So can you change my votes as I originally did, so
okay.
they're more accurate? So
Okay.
social value group eight,
Uh-huh.
life support seven,
Uh-huh.
umbrella fundraising campaign 8.5,
8.5. Okay.
sponsorship program five,
Uh,
contributor scope 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah, and then showcase pipeline experience 7.25.
7.25.
Yeah, coast collective community 3,
3.
umbrella showcase website 5, and community
Mm.
equity 4.
Okay.
So
So now
did this change something?
SPG is number 1 still. Number 2 is dev support.
One,
Number
two,
3 is
three,
still for
4, 5.
5.
Now we have this is 5, right? 4,
No.
5, 6.
So if
No.
Alberto gets to vote with decimals, does everyone else get a vote with decimals too?
Well, I guess so. Yes.
Wait.
It's possible to add decimals to the voting form, but anyways, I think this is good enough for me. I mean, the whole goal is to get a cutoff here because we can't do everything.
5.6. Number 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so we have SVG first, life support 2,
Mm.
sponsorship 3, fundraising 4,
Mm-hmm.
and where is the 5 now? 4.
Number 5 should be this co-op, right?
So this is 5, 6,
Mm-mm.
7,
7.
7, 9.
Mm. Okay, so, okay, I will dictate. SBG 1, life support, and then fundraising.
So the showcase pipeline goes up.
Uh-huh. Number 3 is sponsorship. Number 4 is fundraising. Let's go. Number 6 is
7, 9. Okay.
6.
So it's like this now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, and 9.
Mm-hmm. Co-op and then pipeline, right? Pipeline and CCC.
Uh, I was-
Huh? Pipeline.
Joyce, we're getting a lot of disturbance from you. I don't know. It's hurting.
No, nothing. I think from me. Is it from me?
Yeah, Joyce, it's definitely coming from you.
And it's
Ah,
hurting. Yeah.
you're muted. Much better. Okay, so in my perspective here, it's pretty clear that you could cut off CCC and community equity, right? I think that these two are obviously a different level, whereas all the other 7 are very clearly part of this whole umbrella vision, right? Whereas community equity is very specific, cause collective community is very specific. Whereas everything else is very broad and collaborative, collective, general, organizing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, all right. So, I mean, it's weird to have the Umbrella Showcase website there, right?
Why?
7. So, I mean, the cutoff should include the Umbrella Showcase website. So we should include all 7, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, this is like one option, yeah.
Yeah.
But it makes sense that you would cut off at the Umbrella Showcase website, because you want to include the Umbrella Showcase website, because otherwise, if we didn't include it, then there would be nowhere for the pipeline to go.
Exactly. The whole prime trajectory is the Umbrella Showcase website launch. But I mean, maybe it makes sense. I mean, okay, perfect. Everything below the Umbrella Showcase website is the cutoff.
What?
I mean, the cutoff is Umbrella Showcase website below. It also makes sense. It makes sense.
I don't really understand. I mean, we can make the cutoff however we want to set it up. And we can decide on whatever we want to. There's no
Yeah.
limit to how we
Yeah,
can organize it. But anyways,
okay.
like that's one way of doing it.
Okay.
Cool. So, I mean, basically for me, I wasn't expecting to add cause collective community nor community equity to begin with. So
Yeah.
for me, this is kind of like if we did everything, this is what it would look like. It would be 7 showcase, programs. So
Yeah,
there's
cool.
something missing over here. I think it's just the umbrella fundraising campaign. Umbrella.
It's 4. Umbrella fundraising campaigns 4. Ah, here. Yes.
So it's also good to mention that umbrella fundraising campaign is the only thing that we're currently not doing, right? Everything
Yeah.
else is already happening. So this is the only one that's new.
Okay. Well, also the COP. We're not doing the cooperative shit.
What?
Also, the cooperative ship, I don't see it.
What?
The cooperative, the contributors co-op,
What about it?
we're not doing. It's not part of the.
We spend more time doing the co-op than anything else. That's everything we do. Everything is the co-op.
Everything is the co-op. Makes sense. Yeah.
Everything is the workers' co-op. Like we wouldn't exist without the workers' co-op. The workers' co-op is our budget. It's our work. It's
Everything.
our scheduling. It's our sessions. It's the foundation of everything that we do. So it's
Yeah.
the most active of everything.
Yeah. Correct.
It just doesn't have any documentation around it.
Okay. You wanna? Do you want me to get the notes on the revenue?
No. I think we're good at this point. I mean, the goal for this topic was just to get the results, right? I mean, it says desired outcome clarity on what the internal team thinks our priority should be.
Yeah, but I think it's good to see how it relates to the revenue that we make. I'm just gonna put here
But
next
why?
to.
But why would that be important to us?
No, it's not important. I mean, it's just cool to just see it.
But what bothers me is it's like I feel like we're not doing the work in the proper order then, because it's like for me the whole goal is to set everything up for empowering the team and the community and the network and the public eventually, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I agree with you.
Like
I'm on the same
creating
page.
that information and not doing the work to actually provide it, like we talked about before. It's like, why are we doing it for ourselves? I just don't understand why we'd waste time getting the information for ourselves when we're not providing it to anyone else.
I mean, it's not that we're not providing. I mean, we're live streaming. There's notes public and everything. But yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Everybody voted on a voting form that did not include that. I don't know why we would want that information if we're not going to provide it to anyone else who's voting. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like the
No,
goal
no, I was just curious. No, whatever. I was just curious, out of curiosity. Okay, nothing.
Okay, but that has nothing to do with the topic. The topic is the voting results and clarity on what the internal team thinks of the priorities. So I think we're ready to move on to the next topic, and we can talk
Yeah,
about how we want to move forward. And one of the things we could do to move forward is to understand the revenue models and have that, and we can think about what should or should not be provided as we move forward with the decision making. Does that make sense in terms of thinking about instead of yourself and us, let's think about the actual team and the process of making this decision instead of just thinking about what we personally are curious about. Do you see what I'm trying to get us focused? I don't have a lot of time right now to
yeah. I get it. Sorry, Jay. Let's move on.
All right.
Topic two.
So are there any other questions about the results of the voting?
Uh, no, I think. I think.
Okay.
No questions.
So good vote. All right. So topic two then. Status.
Is there still noise from me?
Excuse me.
Is there still noise from me?
No. No.
Oh, okay.
Uh, okay.
Priorities. Spreadsheet priorities.
Have voting from of top 5, 10 priorities. Scanning again.
So anyway, I mean, for me, the status is basically that we have the voting form. We have the internal team vote, which is about, could become the top 7 priorities or whatever. We do not have the spreadsheet of priorities for top 30 to 50, right? And this would determine the top 5 to 10, right?
What do
So
you
right
mean?
now, what?
What do you mean the spreadsheet with the priorities that we listed, the work priorities? No, that was just for recruitment. You mean the all this all this
List of all the ideas, right, for what could be in the pipeline.
they're inside that the link that I made. You want to have a spreadsheet just for that?
For voting, I want to have everybody be empowered to vote and decide what will be in the voting form. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
Got it. Okay, good. Okay, so what we do not have is we do not have a cut-off proposal. We're not sure where we want to go with the pipeline, right? Do we want to stop or to set it up properly with network/public voting? So in the context of specifically including the pipeline in our priorities, it might make sense that we wouldn't just stop.
Sure.
We do not have the information for each idea, project, program for people to vote on uh, with education. So this includes the revenue models.
Project proposal. Hey, but so you want to propose all these uh, all these ideas for voting?
It's just a process. The process is the process. There's every time you just skip something, it's because you're just assuming and making decisions for other people. Does that make sense? So you start with every possible idea. There's hundreds and hundreds of ideas. Anyone can input any idea they want to. Then you basically choose the ones that people want to do, everything that's active, everything that like, we know we are interested in doing, and like narrow it down to like the top 30, 50, whatever, everything on the list. Then you prioritize all of those, because you don't need to prioritize the hundreds of ideas. You just need to know what exists so that people have
Mhm.
access to them, right? Then you narrow it down to your top 30 to 50, and then you're going to, you know, prioritize those and take the top 5 to 10 for the actual voting form. Does that make sense?
Okay, but we're gonna say when we share that list what is active and what is not active.
Right.
I, I I don't care how we want to put the information, whatever we want to do. The point is that we're trying to
We need to
empower
get. Mhm.
community and other people instead of just making the decisions ourselves. Like the whole idea of the pipeline setup is that it's not about ourselves just deciding things. It's about empowering the community to decide. That's the whole point.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So if our process doesn't apply to that, that's fine. So I have no problem moving forward and at least doing an internal vote with the team and knowing what we are interested in. But that's not the pipeline. That's just knowing what our team is interested in. Do you see the difference?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So
Uh-huh.
I made it clear here that we're not following the pipeline setup. We've already skipped ahead big time, right? Let's just skipped ahead and just focused on the team, right?
Uh-huh. Okay.
So I have no problem with that. I think it's very helpful to have an understanding about what our team is interested in, but that's not what the pipeline is. The pipeline is actually following
Following.
the process.
Okay. Absolutely.
Also, we can note here that there is interest in voting with decimals. So we may want to change our vote. May want to change our vote method to include um, a spreadsheet, or decimal voting.
Yeah, like for example, Jay, when you do like a short answer, like instead of like a linear scale, when you do the voting form, you say short answer. We can say post your vote from 0 to 9, enter your vote from 0 to 9, including decimals if you want. So somebody can include their vote. They can also make a little comment next to their vote if they want to, and then we'll just count the number. That's easily, if we want to, that's easily improvable. I think it makes sense because it's when we vote real time or on Discord, we're always voting with decimals. While with the voting forms, we are limiting the possibilities. So maybe we wanna change that.
Yeah. And also, in this kind of vote, when you have more people vote, it's a lot more accurate. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Because the
absolutely.
more people who are voting, the less you really need to worry about the decimals. The decimals are really just like tiebreakers. All right, so should we go into like next steps here in terms of what we think we need to do?
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you want to add to the status?
None.
Okay, revenue model not following the pipeline setup. We already skipped ahead and just focus on the internal.
So I think that for next steps, the main decision is if we want to just if we want to actually continue with the pipeline, or if we just want to skip ahead and you know, go into just what our
With
team
that.
cares about and not really try to focus on like the education, like the actual um, deeper decisions. So we could do a so we can either I think the options are either stepping back, option one, step back and set up the pipeline better, right? Understand the voting rounds and goals. And then option two would be to do a second round of voting, maybe with 7 options. So maybe we narrowed it down to 7, yeah. So these are the two options that I can think of in terms of how we might want to move forward. And we could technically do both. We could step back and do the pipeline better and simultaneously get a more detailed voting on our top 7 options internally as a team,
Yeah, I'm I agree on that. We should do that. We should
Do
Which
what?
one? Option one or two?
one. We should go back
Better.
and make clarity where we are in the process, and then follow the process.
Yes.
Make sure we follow the process.
So, I mean, for me, it's basically like the overall prioritization, the overall pipeline prioritization, decision making, right? Is pretty simple. Basically, your first step is, or you could say step 0 is, all possible ideas and locations of where to find more ideas. Does that make sense in terms of like your starting point? So, for example, it's
Yeah,
exactly the same process for scheduling. It's all possible scheduled options. It includes every single option. It includes every single scheduling model, whether it's natural cycles, lunar cycles, Gregorian cycles, everything. That's the foundation, right? Then curate anyone prioritizes any idea, project, program onto for spreadsheet voting, right? Voting and prioritization to get the top priorities. Then you put the top, 5 to 10, etc., on the voting form with information and education, right? And then you vote on the voting form, right?
Mhm.
On this would be
So
up.
these are the responsibilities that you remember that we listed for
Yeah, we
the
skipped all that.
setup process. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But I'm not listing the responsibilities. I'm just listing the prioritization for the decision making. There's only basically 3 steps, right? The third one is like a final agreement on cutoff. That makes sense?
Mhm.
Yes. One second.
And you could also say how many we work on a time, how many we work at a time moving forward after we get the cutoff, And then 5 would be like, timeline. So basically the point here is that we just, we have this voting form, but it just comes out of nothing, right? It just comes out of whatever a few people decided in a meeting. It's not like anyone has the power to change the voting
Yeah,
form and decide for
yeah,
us all.
yeah,
And that's the
yeah,
whole point of the process is that you have a process of exactly how the voting form is finalized. And if someone feels that, oh, there's something not on the voting form, and I don't agree that's not being on the voting form, you know exactly how to get something on the voting form. You go to the spreadsheet and you add it and you vote on it, and then you get prioritized, right?
yeah. Yes, Jake. So I have a question. So this prioritization decision making in this list of it's applicable to go in one of these responsibilities, or is something different, something separated?
It's number 3.
Number
It's
three.
responsibility number 3. It's setting up the vote for public voting, right? So we did the internal voting, and it's fine to just do the internal voting if we don't want to do it public, but we still didn't set it up for the public voting. So even if we don't do the public voting, we could still set up the public voting, right? And then just do it internally, right? But the point is that we did neither. We neither set it up nor did we do public. We just skipped ahead to just kind of seeing where our top priorities were with the team, which I think is fine. It's just like not the pipeline. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's not what we agreed we would do.
Well, obviously not what we agreed to do, but we didn't necessarily know what it was going to look like either way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is all responsibility 3 is just setting up the vote. We're not. This is not anything related to anything else. Yeah, everything else comes
Okay.
out. So if we're skipping to number 5, we're already getting agreement on the cutoff for the launch, which is what you guys are talking about. Is us already proposing that, which is step 5.
Mhm.
So I'm basically saying we barely started with step 0, right? We never did any brainstorming for our whole list, right? We never did the considerations for the top. Instead, we just skipped to the vote, and now we're skipped to number 4, and then we're skipping ahead to the agreement on the cutoff for the launch already. So, I think that's fine, especially in regards to the idea that, if we want to cut off at 2 to 3 showcased programs, it makes a lot of sense that we don't need to get many other people in the public involved because we're cutting off so fast.
Yeah.
Right? But if we want to add 7, right? 7 is a lot. So at 7, I feel like it's like, wow, maybe we should get more people involved if we're really doing 7. I mean, 7 is a lot. I mean, let's say it takes 1 week to do a minimum 1 week to do every single one, which is just crazy talk, right? That's still a month and a half, right? Which is that 1.5 or 2 weeks. That's like that would give us 2 weeks for each site to keep to our if we did full 3 months. Like our timeline, our goal for our timeline for the launch is 2 to 3 months. So if we do 1 week for each, it basically eats up 2 months, and then if we do 2 weeks for each, that's 3 months. And 2 weeks for each one is pretty insane. I mean, maybe it's possible to do 2 weeks per website or per program, but I don't know. Is that really possible? Is it feasible? But it sounds great. I mean, obviously, it'd be wonderful to do all 7. It's just like, is that feasible?
Yeah, but I agree with you. I mean, I would go with the process, and then when we get to 7, we will deal with it.
When we get to 7, what?
We will decide. I mean, we will see where we are, what we want to do, how many people we want to involve, right? But I agree with you. We should go back and follow the process.
Okay. So I think somewhere in our process we should have clear criteria, and that would be part of responsive 3 of setting up the vote. I think should include establishing clear criteria for education. Right. So, for example, when we vote on a budget proposal for back pay and upfront pay or whatever, there's a bunch of criteria that's required to be informing the voters so that we know what we're voting on when it's being proposed.
Yeah.
So in that context, it's like, in my opinion, the pipeline is in some ways more a higher priority than just a little back pay proposal, because it affects, we're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars, because lots and lots of time and work is going to be spent on whatever we prioritize. So the idea that we would not have any information or have no criteria for what is required to be presented is just unprofessional when people are voting.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Also, I think this would be not only do I feel like the public should be voting on this, I think it'd be a great thing to have our whole network vote on it, including the decision makers and anyone who's interested.
Yeah, for sure. But I have a question, Jay. I mean, maybe it's a little off topic, but I'm curious. So basically, right? Obviously, before this session, you didn't review the showcase pipeline model. Obviously, you didn't review any of the previous notes since we created them, probably when we had the session. Correct?
Sure, but what you're mistaking is that the idea that we would want an internal team understanding of what our goals are, and then during
No,
some
but
work suddenly is the pipeline, is where I would say is like a mismatch, right? Because like I was like, okay, during our buddy team, it's like it would be really helpful to have an idea of where we're going as a team, but that's not the pipeline, right? And then you're bringing this into the pipeline as if it is the pipeline.
Yeah, exactly. So my question is, since we created we started to create. I mean, at least we created. You created the process, the setup process, and everything. You didn't review anything before today, right? From that session.
We haven't had a session on the pipeline. We never talked about anything. This is our first session.
Yeah, exactly. So my question is that, like, basically when you create a new system, like it's automatically, like it's kind of become parts of yourself, right? Like it's automatically it guides you where you're going. Like for you,
well,
it was
no,
immediate.
we assigned people to do work on these responsibilities, and the people who were assigned to work on them didn't do any work on them, which is fine, but that's why nothing moved forward, right? And so
Yeah,
this
but
we're doing work on it.
Yeah, but my question is that, for example, when we created that list and we voted with Mel and then we sent out the voting form, I mean, you immediately knew and understood that we were just ignoring what we had just decided to do about the pipeline mod and system and everything. I mean, it was for you, it was natural immediately.
For me, it wasn't the pipeline. For me, it was just getting a clear understanding of our team. We basically argued for like an hour about something that was like nonsense because Mel just didn't understand what the hell was going on, and we weren't able to explain it to her. And so then we voted, and then immediately after we voted, it was like silence, and everybody understood. It was so simple. right? So it was like I was just trying to get us to vote and have a clear picture between at least the three of us of where we're going, because there was just chaos for like an hour of people not understanding each other. And then as soon as everyone saw the list of the voted options, it was like silence and everyone understood, and it was like we could move on.
Yeah, no, I get it. But like, for example, for me now today, thanks to you, it's clear. All right, we were skipping ahead. We're not doing things organized. We're just ignoring the whole pipeline model that we just had set
Well,
up. We had
for me, it's just
agreed on.
separate things, right? It's two separate things that you have the vote for the internal team to get a better idea of what is going on, which I've been talking about for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then you have the pipeline model, which is getting the public involved. Right? The whole goal of the pipeline model was engaging the public, right? Am I wrong or something? Am I missing it? Do we need
No,
to
I'm just
review
saying.
it?
I'm just amazed by you.
Yeah.
I'm just amazed by you because it's like you create something, you create this system, and it's like become immediately part of yourself. Like for you, what we did with Mel was exactly as you said now, was part of the internal team vote, which you already knew that okay, it's good to have the internal team, but there's nothing to do with how the model is, with how the process should go. And for me, until you didn't clarify to me now, I said, oh fuck yes. I mean, we just created the system, we just voted the, and I'm just I'm just curious because I'm just amazed, like, and I have reviewed these notes as well. I've organized these notes, I created a spreadsheet, and I was completely uh, uh, on the wrong page, like, let's say, not now I have clarity. Now it makes everything sense. Now all the dots are connecting, but for you it's just natural. It's like it's amazing. This was just my question.
Yeah, I mean the flag is like anytime it's like we're doing things for ourselves, a flag goes up and I just automatically see it. Right? So when you say
Yeah.
something like, "Oh, I would like to see, what the revenue model is just for my own personal amusement," right? Like boom, flag, because it's like, why would even be talking about that? Obviously, it has nothing to do with the responsibilities and the goals of the work that we're doing. That has to do with your own interest, right? So if we're following
Yeah.
the trajectory for the interest of the public, benefit, and the benefit for our society and the benefit for humanity and trying to, evolve, our relationship with everything on all, the other beings on our in our world, then the trajectory will get us to that point when it comes to introducing that to everybody else, right? We don't need to skip that and do it just for ourselves. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
That's
I
the
see what you're
only
saying,
method
and
that that's the only method that I'm following, right? I'm just trying to focus on getting the work done instead of thinking about myself. So
no, yeah,
yeah.
I get it. I mean, you're just, yeah. I mean, it's just,
So for me, the biggest piece of information, just going back to the vote, for me, the big information is the idea that we might include the pipeline, because when we voted with Mel, the pipeline I don't think was included. And so if we're including the pipeline, then we need to do the pipeline properly. If we're not going to include the pipeline, then it's like we can just do the internal system and move on from there. So some other examples of, if we look at other examples of internal active programs, right? So internal active programs and projects. So I'm in the pipeline status. I'm going down to line 60. Right? So Umbrella Showcase website, check. SC, check. Sponsorship, check. Life support, check. Contributor, check. Community equity. So this is happening, but we can just ignore it publicly and do it internally, which is what we're already doing. Right? The
okay.
same thing is true with the investments. The investments are active, they're going on, but we can just do them privately within POS, and then eventually, when we're ready, we can do SIM and root and diverge and make it
Yeah.
public.
Yeah.
The pipeline experience model and the umbrella, we can do publicly. If we're going to do it, we need to do it publicly and set it up correctly. And then the umbrella media company is active, but we can just do that in the background. So the umbrella media company oversees all of our servers. This would oversee all our social media or multimedia systems, and all of the policies and models and systems that we utilize for our advertising and our outreach. All of that is basically part of the umbrella media company. We just don't talk about it. right? Because it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter. The co-op does everything, right? The co-op is doing all of the work is done by the co-op. We could
Mhm.
also not include the co-op. So again, it's definitely possible to only do 3 things under the Umbrella Showcase website, right? So if we look at the options, we could easily do just SVG sponsorship and life support, and then everything else could be in the background.
Yeah. Could be an option. Yeah. All right.